Hey everybody! Time flies when you're having fun. But I guess if y'all are here, that means it's time for episode 2 of the Void Terraformer Build Journal. In episode 2, we go over building the third mini-reactor, as well as running all my pipe and joining it together and getting it above ground. So I appreciate y'all coming back. Let's get to it. Once I get the piping over to the opening leading above ground, I head over to the other side of the cave system to put in the third mini-reactor. This area is slightly bigger and seems to be flatter than the previous one, so what the hell, I'm a glutton for punishment. Let's try a bed BCE again. I start by glitching in the battery and getting my camera centered on it. Once I start building, things go okay at first. But once I get about a third of the way through, I start getting that kick again. Come on! So I decide I'm going to finish building it out and put in the work lights, and let's see what it looks like. Now that I'm actually looking at it, it doesn't look half bad. There's more room over here, and the kick didn't start happening for a little while, so we're going to go ahead and keep it. Next item of business is to get a wire placed for me to glitch a curved pipe onto and have it merge into a cylinder. Now, when placing a wire to glitch a curved pipe onto, the direction the curved pipe is facing will be 45 degrees from the direction of the wire. So you place that first one, run it out to the direction you want it to go, bring it back down to the paver, and then just rotate it 45 degrees counterclockwise around the paver. That spot there will give you a curved pipe glitched where you want it to go. Now, I tried glitching compound bulbs onto that battery, and it didn't work because the bed BCE is too big, you can't see the compound bulbs at all. So I decided this was a good stopping point for today. Now, I usually can't tell you where one day's building ends and the next day's begins when I'm putting these journals together after the fact, but this time I do know for sure that I stopped building on February 20th and restarted on the 21st. How do I know that, you ask? Because the 21st is when I saw Beeblebum's new Total Wire Control tutorial and immediately started playing around with it. Since the compound bulbs were a non-starter, I figured, how about using the teleporter construct from Beeble's video, but crank it up a notch? If 4 teleporters looked cool, 8 would look cooler. If you've been living under a rock and haven't seen the Total Wire Control video, I've linked it on the screen. Pause this video and go watch it right now. So once I had all the wires set, I went and did a quick banana, then went back and rebuilt the bed BCE, replaced the wire to glitch the curved pipe onto, and then started glitching in teleporters. Here is where frustration rears its ugly head. The first 3 SRTs went in just fine, but when I got to the 4th one, it glitched in below the wire instead of centered on it. What the hell? I reloaded my save multiple times to try and get it to work, and I just couldn't figure out why some of the SRTs glitched in centered on their wire, while some glitched in below their wire. It took me 3 or 4 reloads before I noticed that the SRTs that came in correctly were all at 45-degree angles from the center, while the ones that came in below the wire were all at right or straight angles from the center. For the life of me, I just couldn't figure out why this was happening, so I ended up just going with a 4-way SRT construct and ignoring the 45-degree wires. Since they were part of my scaffolding comp, they wouldn't stick around anyway. Now that I've got the luxury of time and instant replay, I think my problem has to do with the fact that the light boxes were facing multiple different directions, which led to the wires getting glitched in at slightly different angles. The next time I play with one of these, I'll have to make sure that all the light box connectors are facing the same way. Not sure if it'll actually work, but it's my current working hypothesis. So once I got the 4 SRTs glitched in, I went and did a quick banana and came back down to start assembling piping. Now you'll notice anywhere in the piping that I used a cylinder placed horizontally, I always have a lab lamp on its end with a pipe punched into it. I like this look, so I stuck with it. Now here I came up with a wrinkle that I ended up using throughout the rest of the build. Anytime I had reciprocal void husks without a cylinder in between them, I'd put pill lights in between them, lit them up a little bit, and I think it gave a better overall look. Back towards the hole that led above ground, assembling pipes, adding in pill lights and wires as I went. Now that that's done, I've got to think about the junction of these 2 different groups of piping and the best way to merge them together. Once I extend each run of piping over to the opening, I start playing around with merging in curved pipes and sphere to cube adjacency to try and get a fairly smooth looking junction. What I ended up with was a little clunkier than I had envisioned, but I was happy with it. Now it's time to extend the piping up to the surface, insetting pill lights and wire fragments as I go. Then I go back to the third mini reactor and start glitching in void husks on all the wire fragments I'd left behind. I wanted to get a good feel for how everything was going to look all put together. And once I got everything glitched in, I think it looks pretty dope. Well, that covers the creation of mini reactor number 3. Check back in a couple days for episode 3, where I cover the making of mini reactors number 4 and 5. So appreciate y'all for watching, and see y'all soon.